Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. Got the crazy dog Roxy going nuts before the video. Hopefully I got my lighting situations a little bit redder, and I'm watching football at the same time we're doing this. Last time, okay, this is kind of like a two-parter. Last time I talked to you, I wanted to talk to you about wealth, and I watched a video when I made a left turn. I got stuck watching the video or listening to the video, and the video was really disappointing. I went over some parts of it in my last video. I just want to go over some more parts and then I'll leave it alone. They talked about zero-sum games and how there's a difference between wealth and status. And the person that's doing the pitch is really saying, well, status isn't, you shouldn't play the status game, and that's a zero-sum game, and wealth isn't a zero-sum game. He's wrong on both accounts. He goes, status is necessary. He says, you shouldn't play the status game. And then he admits it's necessary. I've died, YouTube, right off the bat. So if you can like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe, hit the notifications, hit comments if they're working. That's my character. That's my level 70 Druid on Nightmare. And I got smoked. I'm level 70, so I have to do something different. I'm sorry, YouTube. This is going to lower your expectations of Ronan Kazi, but I must do it, because I can't hang on this tougher level. Yep. There it is, YouTube. I admit defeat. I salute you, sir. So, not to belabor the point, but life is a zero-sum game. If you don't understand what a zero-sum game is, you shouldn't use it. This is what I think. A lot of these people hear some things without doing any research. They use them and they're talking, so they don't understand what they're talking about. Number two, it's just like if you're a Christian, stop saying karma, because karma is not a Christian concept, right? So, like when you do that, like what are you doing? So, I know that's a very American thing to pick and choose what we want, but what makes it ignorant, and I'm sorry I'm cutting that person to quick, YouTube, but what makes it ignorant is when you use all this babble to try to confuse people, to say words they've heard in other contexts that might be scholarly and apply them to your dumb sales pitch about follow me on how to be wealthy versus making money, which what's the difference? Being wealthy in spirit, that's not what you're talking about. Number two, and then, oh, you shouldn't play the status game, and people with status is zero-sum game. Zero-sum game, right? Zero-sum game. If you have talent, again, there's only so many eyeballs. I want you to think about this in the world. Let's say there's 7 billion people in the world. There's 24 hours. So it's 24 times 7 is 108. There's 108 billion hours every day. That's the max amount of views you could get from human beings. So that I have, so that 30 of you have watched the video. God bless you, YouTube. God bless you. Or whatever you believe in. Universe bless you. Whatever it is. Thank you for watching. It's finite, folks. It's not infinite. It's only infinite when someone's trying to take your money. Then they'll sell you that it's infinite. Let's not talk about the evils of religion or any other kind of thing where we're trying to get your money. Okay, enough of that. One of my more successful videos in the last few months was Stop Playing Diablo 4 before the patch. And now, when you look at the feeds that go on about Diablo 4, oh, it's horrible. People are stopping to play the game. This and nerf, and then we want this. And listen, YouTube. Diablo 4 is a good game. It's a game that you go into and you get action right away. It's a game you can go in and scratch an itch. It might not be your full-time game. It's a game that you have when you need a quick fix. If you're playing something, someone pointed out that Starfield's really slow, just like Fallout, just like, yes, it is. So that's why you have a game like Diablo 4 in your stable of games. How far should you play Diablo 4? You should at least do one capstone. So you start off on hard and you go to the next to level 3. You should at least do that so you get to understand the game and you can feel the game. But once the main story's over, it's over, YouTube. then it's just scratching the itch. If you're a particular player that likes that, it's going to scratch it where you keep wanting to get more loot. You don't mind going through reams and reams and reams and reams and reams and reams. For the people that are listening, I'm doing my fingers counting reams. You're getting loot. It's like the Division 2. At this point in the Division 2, I burn everything. I guess you're going to get different lighting because these are commercials, so the lighting is going to be jacked up. And I gave you more red. Maybe I'll fix it in post, YouTube. So you should keep playing Diablo. Don't let influencers influence you not playing the game. Is it your main game? No. Is Destiny 2 should be your main game? No. It's very grindy. But Destiny 2 is a really great game. The mechanics of shooting are great. When you snipe something, you kill it. In Division 2, don't always kill it. You should have Diablo 4 into your mix. You should have Remnant into your game mix. You should have some type of Star Wars game or Star Trek game. You can play Albion Online, but that's a game. Albion Online is a little more crafting. It's kind of more like a soapbox, I was going to say. Sandbox game. But you might be getting that HR with Starfield. But Diablo 4 is good for what it is. It's a quick, fast game. There's a lot of pretty interesting classes. If you like WoW, you'd like Diablo 4. It's a lot more action. It's not as much running around, flying, and BS. You get right to it. Still play it. Start playing it. Is it worth $60? Yes. If you play 8 hours a day. And you give yourself, and this is what I want you to do, YouTube. I want you to have a new metric. This is a Ronan Kazi metric. I didn't invent it, but we're going to pretend like I did. We're not going to pretend, YouTube. I didn't invent it. 60 hours, whatever, $60. You want 60 hours out of the game. You can play, can you play Diablo for 60 hours? 1 week, 8 hours a day would be 40. So, and then what, 3 other days? So it's 9 days worth of playing, 8 hours a day. So that means it's 18 days playing. Oh gosh, I don't want that either. YouTube, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, YouTube. So let me just tell you what happened. So when I do Diablo, what I'd like to do is in the last part of this video that you're watching now, I'm going to show you what my skills are doing. So I also want to include the skill bar in there, and I make it small and offset it because I'm making the game, I'm zooming it up like 170%. I forgot to turn off that audio as well, YouTube. So now you're seeing where I'm going to take over Stronghold. There's a lot of things in Diablo 4 that are great, and it's why I was excited for it to come out. Is it my #1 game? No. I like a game, not necessarily Starfield. If I had to play one game, that's a good question. What would I do? I would want a game that's kind of unlimited. I would probably play a game like Fallout 3, 4, Starfield, maybe Skyrim if I had to play one game. And the fact that I could mod that game, maybe that's cheating. I like the Division 2. It's just too grindy. After you do the mission stuff, it's too grindy. The Descent in Diablo 2, in Division 2 is a poor. You had given us, first off, you gave us a summit in Division 2, and before you'd given us a subway. That's what we want. We don't want a game where you're really nerfing us. So that's a couple of things. But I have 5 or 6 games always in my stable. There's some games, when Diablo 4 first came out, I wanted to get my character through the first and second capstone. I wanted to unlock the highest level of difficulty. And I play on the highest level of difficulty. If I was level 75, I'd start playing on it. I'm going to slowly grind. But I'm not going to not play Diablo. Furthermore, YouTube, the people that are influencers, right? Maybe this is where I'm an old codger, so I'm going to give you leave now. But I don't agree with all those people. Those people, they make more money than me. If I wanted to make money like that, I could make money like that. We all could at least attempt that. But like if that was my main focus, if I didn't have to worry about my family, if I didn't have to worry about you, YouTube, and your content. No, the point is, because someone's rich doesn't make them right. I'm going to do a little sidebar real quick. You think about inventors, if you think about Microsoft, you think about DOS, which then became Windows. The guy, Bill Gates, happened to be available for IBM versus the other guy, Gary Cadell, I think his name was, that did DR-DOS. He was flying and told IBM to pound sand. IBM had made a personal computer in 1982, 83-ish. Before there was mini computers, we call them, like the DEC 11 or DEC 10, and it was like probably as powerful, maybe less powerful than a computer today, but you'd run a bunch of terminals off of it because everything was text-based. And so, was DOS the best operating system? No. A lot of people like Linux and say it's better than Windows, but Windows was first and it has the mass. Does that mean everything that Microsoft makes is great? No. No, not at all. But a lot of times people are first and then they get rich off being first, or they get a break, they get lucky. And then we ascribe all types of success things to them. And that's just not what I do. Having been someone that's been successful, having not been successful, having been successful, having doing all these things, and I've told you this a million times, probably, almost literally, framing what success is for you. If framing success for you is to make a lot of money, remember it's a pyramid. Remember it's small. It's a zero-sum game. For you to make money, someone else is going to not have to make money. For you to get ahead on someone else is going to have to go down. You might say, well, that doesn't, but think about every other country in the world. Think about how it was okay for the United States to use resources, and now we tell other people, oh, you should mind your carbon emissions, other countries. And we should, because we're all on the planet together, but it's kind of hypocritical when you ask someone to do something, because it helps both of you when you did things before that only helped you. But I don't want this to get in a big political thing. I'm just saying you should still say Diablo. You should ignore the people. Here's the good thing about influencers and people with large voices in the gaming community. They help get fixes in the game when the game will listen to them and do some of those fixes. PvP players have an overlarge influence on non-PvP games because they're loudest in the forums. But a game like Division 2 is not a PvP game. People can PvP in it. They might want to PvP in it. But you have whole areas of the map that no one goes to. And then what's the population? And having had to run a business and have to be responsible for the decisions I make and how that's going to affect people's paychecks and how it's going to affect their livelihood. You just aren't going to make, yes, sure, I'd like them to do whatever, but I can't because that affects other people. Having to decide what picks they get in their 401k, you know, picking the funds, there's a whole lot that goes into that. And all I'm saying is, when you get to a point where you can make decisions and it affects a business, some people have outsized voice in that. Maybe maybe I should really have an aggressive campaign on to Division 2, but I really don't care. I just want to play the game. I don't want to get my stupid point or, make a button to loot everything so I don't have to click on it, right? So, should you still be playing Diablo 4? Yes. Should you start playing Diablo 4? Yes. What's the metric? That the game's going to give you at least 60 hours of gameplay, at least. And it could go more than that. You might not like that, but while I'm trying to, all these games I'm playing, Ghost Recon, SWOTR, the Division 2, I have Starfield, I have Baldur's Gate, I have Remnant. Some of these games I'm playing, they're good, and I have to judge it on how much I'm going to play it. Starfield isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. So you're going to get your, whatever you pay for it, you're going to get that out of it. Baldur's Gate, I might not. The gameplay is just too slow. But YouTube, That's the cross I must bear. Thanks, YouTube. This is Ronan Kazi. Completed this stronghold. This is, you should start playing the Diablo 4 again. Ronan Kazi, out.